back to GRTV News. It's been a couple of weeks now. Sadly, even though we spend most of our time inside with our beloved gaming machines, we're not immune to disease. So we've had a couple of weeks now with various members of the team being sick, but now we're back with more gaming news for you guys. First up, let's just say that Activision, all the guys at Activision are busy counting the cash since the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. They've broken all kinds of records. I actually, again, have to bring up my notes because we have numbers and I usually suck at remembering them. Anyway, Call of Duty Modern Warfare generated $550 million in revenue after the first 5 days. And that broke the record that Grand Theft Auto 4 had, which sold for $500 million during the first 5 days. Also, Modern Warfare 2 broke the current Xbox Live record by having 2.2 million users playing online on the first day, also breaking 11 million achievements. What can I say? It's obviously incredibly popular. Also, in other Call of Duty related news, according to Los Angeles Times, there's a third studio that Activision has brought in to develop Call of Duty titles. If it's about having 3 studios like Treyarch, Infinite Ward, and the third one working on Call of Duty titles in a 3-year cycle, we don't know that yet. And but it also could be related to the fact that Activision wants to do some form of subscription-based Call of Duty MMO. Exactly how that's going to work is also not official. It could be, it is rumored, according to the same sources, Sledgehammer Games that's actually been brought in to develop Call of Duty in the future. The Sledgehammer Games was started by 2 key members of the... I'm drawing a blank here. Sorry. The Dead Space team. Sorry. Earlier this year. We'll just have to wait and see, but it's a good time to be Activision. Everybody loves game-related leaks, and this time a release list supposedly have leaked from Warner Bros. Interactive. The list includes games like Fear 3, which we should have known would be coming, but also Scribblenauts 2, which is great news for fans of Tim Schafer. The game is not only supposed to be for Nintendo DS, but also for the PC and Wii. Also on the list is a Batman game called Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is probably not a sequel to the awesome Batman Arkham Asylum, but probably related to the new animated series. Capcom has announced that the very popular Attorney series Phoenix Wright will be released on WiiWare early next year. It will begin with the original game, followed by Trials and Tribulations and Justice for All at later point. Exactly how much the game will cost is not official yet, but Capcom has announced that the series has sold more than 3.7 million copies on the DS, a number which is bound to increase when the game is released on WiiWare. Grasshopper manufacturer Suda51 has hinted that his popular No More Heroes series will be released for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 at some point. And now it's actually official that No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise, which is a remake of the original Wii game, will be released on the HD consoles next year. The game, the new remake, is supposed to feature a very sweet mode where the female characters have very little clothes on. We'll just have to see what that really means. And but there's no official release date for the Western world yet, but we can expect it to come here as well. EA has fallen on some rather tough time lately, and the latest move they made is to cut 1,500 employees. It's been a very wild discussion exactly where the cuts will be made, and EA's Pandemic Studios was one of the prime candidates. Now it turns out that not only are EA cutting some of the workforce from Pandemic, they're also closing the entire studio down. Pandemic has had some pretty poor reviews for the latest games, Mercenaries 2 and Lord of the Rings Conquest, and that of course have been followed by rather low sales. So sadly, Pandemic will have to go. All the 200 employees at Pandemic, including their founders, have left EA, and their assets and their IPs have been moved to EA Los Angeles. Pandemic's last game, The Saboteur, will be released this December. In an interview with GRTV, Fantasy Star producer Satoshi Sakai hinted at a return to the stationary consoles for Fantasy Star next year to coincide with the 10th year anniversary of Fantasy Star Online.
Fantasy Star Zero is probably most like Fantasy Star Online. We've taken the systems that would work well in Fantasy Star Online and moved those over to the DS. And basically our aim is to make something that's easy to pick up and play, and you can have a real Fantasy Star experience on the DS.
Be sure to check out the full interview on GRTV. Square Enix has finally announced the official release date for Final Fantasy XIII here in the West. It's going to be released in Europe and North America on March the 7th, 2010. The game is released for the PlayStation 3 in Japan on December 17th, so we don't actually have to wait that long this time. Of course, here in the West, it will be released both on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. We knew it was coming, but now it's official that Kane & Lynch 2 Dog's Days will be released next year. IO Interactive is hard at work with the title, which will take place in Shanghai this time, and a couple of CCTV kinda inspired teaser trailers have already been released. Rumors, that's not official yet. We know you love them, we love them. According to British industry publication MCV, Alan Wake will be released for the Xbox 360 in May next year. No official word from Microsoft. That's everything we had for you guys this week when it comes to news. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, be sure to check out the video reviews of both Dragon Age Origins and Modern Warfare 2 here on GRTV. But until then, take care.